Good midday, good midday, good midday, good midday. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Is there anybody out here that's excited that God is doing great things, that God is performing magnificent things, that God is showing his power, his presence, his provision, his ability, his might, his strength, his joy, his peace that passes all understanding? I wish I had five people. I wish I had five people who could just shout on the fact that, as Grandmama said, God's been better to us than we've been to ourselves. And that's why we bless him, and that's why we glorify him, and that's why we magnify him. As the songwriter said, can't nobody do you like Jesus, can't nobody do you like the Lord. Is there somebody out here? Is there somebody here today who can just get happy over the fact that he looked beyond your faults and met everyone? Is there anybody who can tell the Lord, thank you today, for this is the day he has made? And guess what? While I'm in it, I'm going to rejoice. Welcome, welcome to you, one and all, being here with us on today. For our God is able to do above and beyond all we could ever ask or think. Well, thank you for being a part of this midday snapshot moment. Thank you so much, one and all, for providing an opportunity for us to come and to share with you, that we can enter into that space, enter into that moment, enter into that living room, that bedroom, that kitchen, that basement, that garage, wherever you are, so that we can share with you on your job. Don't get in trouble now. Don't get in trouble. And so we are grateful to God for you. I got a question for you. Now, it's not really a question. It's more of a statement than it is a question. Does God exalt in due time? That seems to be one of the major problems that exists within the body of Christ, is this thing of self exaltation. Isn't it amazing that there is so much, what's the word I want to use? Dysfunction. There's so much, gosh, I'm trying to think of the names that I want to use. There's so much misconception. There are so many issues and problems that are just running rampant in the body of Christ, whereby there's no self-worth, there's no self-esteem. We're not sure who we are. We're not even sometimes sure whose we are. We go through all of these different things. We go through these myriads of moments of madness and self-destruction, not realizing that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And it is kind of difficult to know who you are when you don't walk in who you are, and you don't talk in who you are, and you don't live in who you are. And it's difficult for you to live that when you spent not much time with the one who created your living, who sustains your existence, who provides for you the sustenance, the viability, the functionality that you deal with on a regular basis. And so we just need to understand that God has a way of elevating, but he doesn't elevate because you all of that. He elevates because you recognize that you're not. You recognize that the only reason you are functioning now is because of grace and mercy. The only reason that you have your mobility, capability, cognition is because of grace and mercy. I wish I had five people. I wish I had five people out there that know it's only because of his grace that I still even know my name. I still know who I am. I know where I am. I know what I'm doing. I remember name, address, phone number. I remember all, and we can act like that's not significant. All you got to do is look at an aging population, and it's not always the aged that are dealing with issues, but everybody has something going on. So what does God look for in order to take you to another level? What is God's requirement for him to take you to another level? What is God's mandate and requirement to take you to another level? Well, the gospel recorded by Luke chapter 14, and we're going to look at 7 through 11. I'm going to read it, and then we're going to deal with it, all right? So he told the parable to those who were invited when he noted they chose the best places, saying to themselves, when you are invited to anyone to a wedding feast, do not sit down in the best places, lest one more honorable than you come and be invited by him, and he who invited you will come over to you and say, give this man this place, and then you'll be shamed to take the lowest place. But when you are invited, go to and sit down in the lowest place, so that he who has invited you, who comes, he may say to you, friend, come go higher. Then you will have glory in the presence of those who sit at the table with you. Now, this is the verse I want to hang my hat on. For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself shall be exalted. Wait a minute. Is Jesus saying that there is a danger in wanting to be seen? Is Jesus saying that there's a danger in demanding from other people what only grace has provided? Is Jesus saying, please be careful how you walk through life, how you think more highly of yourself than you should? Is Jesus saying that in order for positioning to take place, there must be some level of humility evident? It says here in the text, because that verse 11 is powerful. Whoever exalts himself, cocky, arrogant, full of yourself, demanding from people what only grace can provide. They done mentioned your name too many times. They done said you done prayed well too many times. You done sang their song too many times. You done preached too many times, and all of these kind of things, and not realizing, and I need to talk about that for just a moment, not realizing that the only reason you are who and where you are wasn't because you were so great, wasn't because you were so gifted. It was the fact that he looked beyond your faults and provided an opportunity for you to minister to people, and then you let it go to your head. Then you started thinking that your stuff don't stink. You started thinking that there's nobody like me. Nobody can sing like me. Nobody can preach like me. Nobody can pray like me. Nobody can play like me. Nobody can perform like me. Nobody. And what you have forgotten, my dear sisters and brothers, my brothers and sisters, somebody was functioning before your behind got there. Somebody will be functioning after your behind is gone. I want you to catch it. You can't never become so full of yourself that you think the world revolves around you, because somewhere along the line you will get embarrassed. I've seen that happen so many times. It is just absolutely unbelievable. I'm here, and especially for them late people, they want to be seen. They want to be recognized. They got to come and sashay themselves in there like, here I am, I'm here. Oh, I don't believe that's what Jesus is dealing with. I think he's dealing with the fact that that's not the thing that places you in a higher position. When you exalt yourself, you will be humble. God will snatch the rug out from underneath you and watch you fall until you bust your face, just to see if you got enough sense to recognize that whatever I'm doing is because he looked beyond. Whatever I am accomplishing has not been because I'm so competent or capable. And he does need competency and he does need capability, but you never lose sight who provided it. Then he says, whoever humbles himself will be exalted. When you are willing to say, here, you take this seat. Here, you sit down here. I'm cool. I'm cool. I went to a Youngstown Warm Black Caucus meeting, and as I was there, people came along and I said, here, come here. You take this seat. I'm cool. I'm all right. Listen, I'm okay. I thank God that I can still stand. I thank God that I'm still functional. I thank God that I still have the ability to do what I do. And so he says here clearly in this text, if you humble yourself, if you give to others, if you provide to others, if you are there for other people other than yourself, in due time, he will exalt you. But when you full of yourself and you think it's all about you, somewhere along the line, embarrassment is going to come. Somewhere along the line, you're going to get bent out of shape. Somewhere along the line, something's going to happen to snatch your behind down. And I'm going to tell you something. That's a long fall. And can I add one more thing to it? There's a whole lot of people will watch you fall. So Jesus says, well, don't go anywhere thinking you all of that just because they know your name. Because guess what? They may know your name and know your deeds. You need to recognize that whatever you're doing, wherever you are, however you are performing anything in life is due to the fact that by the grace of God, I am what I am. Can you put that in the chat for me? By the grace of God, I am what I am. Can you put that in there for me? Just by the grace of God, I am what I am. Humble yourself. Be kind to people. Be sweet to people. Just show some love and consideration to somebody, because isn't it amazing that we live in an age now where people want what they're not willing to give? Have you noticed that? Is that maddening that people want to be seen? They want to be recognized. They want to be data boy, data girl. Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah. But they themselves are not encouragers. Sit back. Show some love, show some concern, show some consideration. He says, because if you exalt yourself, if you make yourself or it all about yourself, somewhere along the line, you're going to have an embarrassing day. And when that day comes, everybody going to remember that embarrassing moment, and it will never be forgotten. And the level of ministry that you could have accomplished will be over with. That's all I wanted to say with you today. That's all I wanted to share with you today. If you feel like, everybody else is doing something but me, everybody else is doing something but me, everybody, yada, yada, everybody, yada, yada. Could it be that maybe the very thing that's getting in the way is you? Maybe it's your attitude. Maybe it's the way you treat people. Maybe it's the way you talk to people. Maybe it's the way you act. Maybe it's the things that you do. Is there a possibility that the biggest hindrance in your life is not other people? It might just be you. But if you humble yourself and show kindness toward other people, he said, in due time, he will exalt you. He'll put you in positions that the devil in hell can't take away from you. But listen, I got to go. I just wanted to share these few moments with you to show you what the word of the Lord is saying and how God is speaking to us on today. And my prayer is that from this encounter that we have had, that we're the better, we're stronger. Don't forget what I said. You better vote. You better get out here and vote. You best get out here and vote. You know what I said about issue one? Yay, issue one. Yeah. Don't allow the government to start running medical situations. You need to allow those doctors and those imams and those priests and those pastors and apostles and whatever prophets, whatever they call themselves. It don't matter to me. Those issues need to stay in the church. Don't you be fooled by the manipulation of this new group of quote unquote Christians out here, these white nationalists that are trying to control now reproductive rights, birth control, all the rest of that stuff, because this thing ain't got nothing to do with abortion. It has everything to do with governmental control. And isn't it amazing that the party that wants less control is now the party wanting more government control? The Bible is clear. He gives us choices, and we must live with the choice we make, not allow other people to make those choices for us. I got to go because I know I done made somebody mad just by saying that. Love you with the love of Jesus Christ. May God bless you. May he keep you is our prayer.